Coming up in this video, I've got five simple cocktails, simple highballs that you can make using Whitley Neill's Rhubarb and Ginger Gin. So if you love that gin and you love your tonic, but you maybe want something different, whether you're in a pub or a bar, whether you're at home, you've got a party coming up and you want to impress friends or family, I've got 5 simple recipes for you coming up straight after this. Hey, I'm Steve the Barman and I'm hoping these videos are helping you to drink, serve and enjoy your favourite spirits even more by providing you with simple drinks inspiration about your most loved brands. This video is all about Whitley Neill's Rhubarb and Ginger Gin. So in the comments below, not only do I want you to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, but I want you to get in the comments below and I want you to tell me how you drink Whitley Neill's Rhubarb and Ginger Gin. Whether it's tonic, whether it's a flavoured tonic, just hit that up in the comments below, or whether you've got your go-to sort of simple highball or cocktail recipe. Again, let's get a community going, share your recipes and mixes below. Right then, this is Whitley Neill's Rhubarb and Ginger Gin. Now with all these videos, I'm going to give you 5. I'm going to start off with the absolute basic, slightly more than a gin and tonic, obviously. I'm going to start off with the absolute basic highballs, and then the 5th cocktail is going to be like the wow cocktail, but still very simple because I want you to be able to make these at home. You guys in pubs and bars, yes, these are going to be brilliant for you as well. But if you're at home, I want you to be able to make these, so nothing is going to be too complicated. So the first cocktail I've got for you with Rhubarb and Ginger Gin is a Rhuby Russchian. Now the first thing that will become evident as these videos go on, I am absolutely terrible at naming drinks. I am just shocking. I can create drinks, I can make loads of different drinks. I've got that skill set, I've been doing that years. I just haven't got the creative gene to name drinks. So this one, I apologise for that going forward, but this one is the Rhuby Russchian. We're going highball. Very, very simple highball serve straight away. So let's crack on. Obviously the first ingredient we need is our gin, Whitley Neill's Rhubarb and Ginger Gin. I am going to use, this is a big shout out for me going forward. This is my one go-to piece of cocktail equipment. Absolutely love this. This is the Mezclar Precision measure. It's a normal jigger, it's a 25mm, 50mm jigger, spin it around. But the cool thing, I'll try and hold that up so you can see it, but the cool thing that's got is little lines in there. And not all cocktails are about sort of 24 or one shot and double shot. You've got some 5mm, 10mm, 15mm going on because you don't want to over sweeten or take the balance out. So this measure is absolutely superb. In the 25mm end, you've got every 5mm. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 25. Obviously, in the big ends, in the double ends, you've got every 10mm, so 10, 20, 30, 40, and that's going to be important in these cocktails. Anyway, let's crack on. Highball glass, doesn't really matter what glass, just a nice tall highball, 16 ounce. We've got a double measure of the gin going straight in. No need to ice up yet. I'm going to do ice at the end. So I've got 50ml of gin. The next ingredient, kind of a little fun ingredient, strawberry liqueur. Quite a few supermarkets do this, very easy to get hold of online. If you want, it's only like a tenner a bowl. There's 2 brands, I haven't got the other one. There's the Kuiper that you can get from cash and carries and online as well, but bowls is the other one. Interestingly, I don't know why, but I've got bowls in every other flavour, but strawberry, I've got the Kuiper, don't know why. Anyway, for this, 15mm, okay? So 15ml of strawberry in there. So we've got rhubarb, ginger and strawberry going on straight away. Now, so we've got the Rhuby. The Rhuby's RH, kind of rhubarb, flip on rhubarb there. For the Russchian, where's the Russchian come from? Well, it's this. This is one of Schweppes's underutilized mixes that I absolutely love. It's kind of a citrus mixer. I believe the French have got an equivalent, Schweppes. I forget what they call it now, but it's something completely different, I think. But it's kind of citrusy, a bit of grapefruit, I think, in there as well, but orange, lemon, the whole St. Clement's thing. I absolutely love this. So we're just going small cans. Every single supermarket will sell this. We're just going the whole thing in there. Okay, pour that in. Now the next thing we need is loads of ice. Why do we put loads of ice in the drinks? Purely because the more ice you have in your drink, the colder your drink's going to stay. Therefore, the less diluted it's going to be. So we always use loads of ice. It's got nothing to do with saving us money or less mixer or anything like that. We just want loads of ice to give the drink, keep the drink absolutely chilled so it doesn't dilute. So we've got ice in there. We're just going to give it a very, very quick stir. Oh, that is absolutely delicious. Bit more ice just to top up. And then the garnish is down to you. I've actually got a bit of rhubarb going on here. We could do a bit of rhubarb, a mint sprig, whatever you fancy. Doesn't really matter. But that is my Rhuby Russchian. What does it taste like? Wow, it's just fun. Rhubarb, strawberry, the citrus in there, amazing. You could add a bit of lemon juice if you wanted to. Don't think there's any needs, but that is my Rhuby Russchian. Right, the next cocktail I'm going to make for you using Whitley Neill's Rhubarb and Ginger Gin is a rhubarb and rosé spritz. I've banged this out a few times on my cocktail gigs that I do. It's always lovely. It's kind of spritz. Think kind of bittersweet Aperol kind of thing. You've got that whole sort of bitter thing going on. Little touch of sweetness. This is absolutely divine. So wine glass. I always make my spritzes in a wine glass. If you've got a gin balloon at home, be my guest. Use a gin balloon. 50 ml double bubble of your Whitley Neill gin. Okay, your rhubarb and ginger gin. Now the next ingredient I want is some honey. Now I use a honey syrup from Monin. Quite easily get it online. It's about £5–6. If you want to make a honey syrup at home, easy peasy. It's just equal amounts of honey, just with boiled water, just to make it a bit more liquid, so it goes or liquid, a bit more runny, I should say, so it goes in. But I go through quite a bit of this in rum punches and things like that. So I'm just going to 5 ml of honey syrup, okay? And this is kind of why you need your mezclar measure, so you get 5 ml. Actually, you don't want a whole shot of this, you just want 5 ml. So that's our honey syrup. The next ingredient we want is some freshly squeezed lime juice. Again, just not too much, just 5 ml going out there, just to balance. Now, next ingredient is a bit of a curveball as well. I love, as you can see, I work with so many different mixer brands, and I love playing about and using them all. So this is Fentimans Sparkling Raspberry, absolutely lovely. And you just want 50 ml. So in a spritz, you've kind of got a normal Aperol spritz, you've got Aperol, soda, and Prosecco, champagne, whatever. So this is kind of replacing the soda aspect of it, okay? So we've got a little bit of sweet and sour going on, but we've got our gin. This is our soda, so 50 ml. You get this from every single supermarket. So 50 ml of the raspberry, sparkling raspberry Fentimans there. And then just to top up, this is where the rosé comes from. I've got rosé. I'm Carver. I love my Carver. For me, it tastes better than Prosecco, but I just love sort of a rosé. So this is fresh now, just there. And we're going 75 ml, so 3 shots effectively, okay? So that's a double. And just use that one quickly. There we go. So we've got about 75 ml going on there. Now, garnish-wise, I'm just going to stick a lovely rhubarb ribbon in there straight away. I'm going to stick about 4 raspberries in there. And then I'm just going to ice this up now, very gently. So a bit of ice, just give it a very gentle stir. Stir that around, get all the honey and the lime mixed up. And top it up with more ice. Loads of ice again. can never have too much ice. Remember, the more ice, it's not going to melt, so it's going to keep your drink colder, but less watered down, more importantly. And then just to finish that off, again, garnish with whatever you fancy. If you're in pubs and bars, I always tend to go sprig and mint because that's kind of the wow effect. You could even do a tiny little sip straw as well, but that is my rhubarb and rosé spritz. What's it taste like? Oh, it's so good. You get the rhubarb gin, the subtle hint of ginger, but the honey and the raspberry, that is one of my favourite all-time spritzes. So for the next cocktail, I'm going a rhubarb mojito, but with the slight twist, the slight fun twist at the end. Okay, so rhubarb mojito. Mojitos, I always go in tall straight glasses. This is 16 ounce. But to start off with, we want half a lime wedged. So I've got 3 wedges in there. I'm just going to squeeze those in. Now, when I'm making gin mojitos, I actually like to use lemon juice as well. So instead of a whole lime, I'm going half a lime and the equivalent of half lemon juice. So I've got about 10 ml of lemon juice going in there. So I've got limes in that. Next ingredient is sugar syrup. Again, you can quite easily make your sugar syrup at home. Equal amounts of caster, granulated sugar, boiled down with water, equal amounts, and then just set it to one side. It will keep for a few weeks. Because I go through so much of it, I just buy it in, a couple of quid. Supermarkets, every supermarket should have their own sugar syrup. Now for this, because the gin is a little bit sweet and I've got a slightly sweeter mixer, I'm just going purely 10 ml, okay? 10 ml of sugar syrup. If there's anything wrong with your mojitos at the end, 9 times out of 10 it's the amount of sugar. So you just need to add a touch more sugar just to balance the drink out a little bit more. But for this, because we've got the sweetness of that and the sweetness in the mixer, with 10 ml should be perfect. So all you need to do now is just muddle that down, get the zest out of the limes, okay? I personally don't muddle the mint. I know some people do. I personally don't, okay? So we've got the juice all in there now. The next ingredient is your gin. 50 ml double bubble of your gin, all right? So there we go, 50 ml going in there. The next ingredient you want is your mint. So you want about 10 to 12 decent mint sprigs, mint leaves. So just thumb and a forefinger, I've got 2 sprigs there, just pull down and then twist off the heads, okay? Mint, palm your hand, give it a spank, and that's all you generally need to do to awake the aroma. So I'm just gonna do a couple more in there. There we go, another head. Palm your hand, give it a spank, there we go. So quick recap, I've got half a lime in there, a bit of lemon juice, bit of sugar, and then the mint. So we've got that. We've got 50 ml of our gin. Now the soda, this is where we're having a little play. I love playing about with this. This is London Essence. Most supermarkets carry these now. They have got the range of tonics, but these are sodas. Okay, so not kind of sweet like some of these up here, just sodas. So I've got 3 that I know of. Peach and jasmine, and elderberry and something, elderberry and hibiscus maybe, and then this one. This is rhubarb and cardamom, okay? Now, no need to measure this. All I say as a general rule of thumb is half fill your glass, no more than that, otherwise it'll be too watered down, okay? So about half full. So that's London Essence rhubarb and cardamom soda. And then just for my mojitos, I am going to start off with a bit of crushed ice. Bit of cubed ice going in there, sorry. Take your long bar spoon, give it a stir, okay? We're just gonna bring the limes and the mint, just stir that all together. Okay. Lovely. And then, oh, that tastes amazing. Wow. And then, just to finish it off, crushed ice. We always finish off mojitos with a bit of crushed ice. Absolutely love that. So then just to finish it off, I've got a tiny little chunk of rhubarb there. Got another mint sprig, just palm your hand just to sort of awake it. And then a straw, The straw always goes beside the mint sprig, so when you have a little sip, it's the mint from the leaves that go up there. And that is my Rhubarb Mojito. Wow. Right then, your next cocktail with the rhubarb and ginger gin. We are going a rhubarb sour. Now, sours are quite fun. People associate with amaretto sour, whiskey sours, things like that. Gin sours are really, really nice as well, especially when you've got a subtle hint of fruit. So up until now, we've got 3 cocktails that you build. This one is going to involve a slight bit of shaking. Now, you could make this in the base of your shaker. However, these are my kind of rocks glasses that I use, and I know full well that my tin fits very, very nicely over the top. If you haven't got a glass that does that, then make this in a shaker. So what we're going to go 50 ml, okay, 50 ml of our rhubarb and ginger gin. So we've got that in there. The second ingredient you want with most sours, with all sours, is lemon juice, okay, fresh lemon juice. So 25 ml of fresh lemon juice. The next ingredient you want is your sugar. Now again, I've just mentioned this in the last cocktail, the mojito. This is just sugar syrup. Buy it, make it, whatever you want. All you need for this is 10 ml, okay, 10 ml. And that's where you need this measure. I'm going to keep banging on about I love this measure. Links in the show notes where you can buy this from. The next ingredient you want, this is where we get a bit fun. This is, I'm going to use Aperol, okay? Just a tiny, tiny little hint of Aperol, just to give it that sort of sweet, sour balance, okay? So this is all the bitterness, I should say. So we're going 10 ml, no more than that, just 10 ml of the Aperol. And then 2 more ingredients coming. Now, the first one is right up there on the shoulder above me. I use quite a lot of these flavoured bitters. These are plum bitters, anywhere between £7 and £10 a bottle. Again, online you can get these bitters. Think of it as the bartender's salt and pepper. They bring flavours alive. So I'm just going 2 dashes of plum bitters. 1, 2. Okay, really, really love that plum. Aperol, rhubarb, really, really nice. Now, with sours, here we go. Sours have traditionally got egg whites in them. Now, some people get a bit funny about egg whites in there. So as a business, when I'm out on the road, I never, ever use egg whites. Instead, we've you know, things have moved on in the bartending trade these days. We've got so many shortcuts and hacks. This is a product I use a hell of a lot. This is Mrs. Better's Bitters, Canadian brand, but this is their miraculous foamer, and it is absolutely genius. It's equivalent, that little bottle is equivalent to 160 egg whites. Vegan friendly, no known allergies at all, or allergens I should say. It's just absolutely amazing. It is about 20 quid a bottle, but it just goes so fast. So you literally only need, it's like a little pipette, and that's actually too much. You literally need about that much, probably about 1/4 to 1/3 of a pipette, and squeeze that in. And this is what makes it. It's just a miraculous foamer. Again, links in the show notes of where you can get that from. It just adds that fun. Not only does it give it that velvety sort of thing that the egg white does as well, but it just gives it that whole froth consistency. And that's what we want with a sour. Okay, all right, so we've got all the ingredients in there. Next thing we want to do is just ice that very, very slightly. I'm just going to put, just because I'm shaking with that glass as well, so half fill that glass. Tin on, and we're just going to shake it for about 12 seconds. Now, what you should see with this, you can already see it on there. We're just going to pour that straight back in. No need to, you're at home, you know, you don't need to, the smell just coming off that is absolutely amazing. Wow, that hits you. So half fill that glass, and then just to finish up, it's up to you. I'm going to go crushed ice. I do like my crushed ice, but you could use cubed ice again, and then garnish with whatever you fancy. I have got, where are we? I'm actually going to dehydrated lemon. I've got a little bit of, I love the colour sort of contrast of these. Little dehydrated lemon. You could use a little bit of rhubarb, a little bit of mint, whatever you fancied. Absolutely no dramas. Little sip straw. Taste. Oh, wow. Wow. Right then, my final cocktail is a rhubarb strudel. This tastes amazing. It's a martini. So I'm just going to ice down my martini glass. So that's nicely chilling away. I am going to make this in a cocktail shaker. So we're going there. Now, very, very simple. Okay. 50ml, 50. Most of these cocktails are 50ml. You can add a bit more if you want, but 50ml of rhubarb and ginger gin. So that's the first thing. The second ingredient, this is a really lovely, fun thing to play about with. This is Aberfoyle's, and this is salted toffee liqueur. It's only 20%, 20.3%. Just smells so much fun on the nose. Again, I'll drop a link. Master of Malts. It's less than 20 quid a bottle, I think. 16, 17 quid a bottle, something like that. But for this cocktail, 15ml, okay? So we've got rhubarb and ginger gin. We've got salted, oh, love it, salted toffee going on there. Then we've got lemon juice, just to balance it out. It's a little bit sweetish. We're going 15ml of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Then this one, if we're just going pressed apple juice. Again, it doesn't matter too much. This is just Waitrose. I've got a Waitrose close to me. I needed some apple juice. That's all it was. You go Tropicana, whatever. Also, I would say is make sure it's pressed apple juice. Okay, 100% pressed. So what I'm going for, I'm actually going. You could do 50, but I'm actually going 75ml. Okay, 75ml of pressed apple juice. And there's one final thing. I used it in the last cocktail as well, because I love that sort of velvety, frothy consistency. You can still see how much froth is on that cocktail down there. I'm going, again, these miraculous foamers from Mrs. Better's Bitters, and just literally a quarter of pipettes. So all we're going to do now is ice this up. And then we're going to shake this down for, again, about 12 seconds, all right? So, you see how condensated the tin is. That's exactly what you want. So nice and chilled. That'll just pop out. Oh, wow, smells good. Smells good. Right, let's just pop that to one side. Get rid of your ice out of your martini glass. Now, you may or may not have this at home, but I'm just going to double strain. So you want the Hawthorn strainer just on top. Oh, the kit. If you want to buy this sort of kit, it's in the show notes, so where you can get it from. But Hawthorn strainer, and we're going to double strain. So the Hawthorn strainer, this will stop the ice coming out, and that catches any like tiny shards of ice that you don't want, or any fruit. Okay, catch any fruit that you don't want to go in there if you've shaken anything with fruit. Look at that, perfect fit. Oh, amazing, absolutely amazing. Just pop that to one side. Again, garnish for this. We've got a nice, I'm looking for a nice, decent rhubarb ribbon. There we go, there, drape that over the side. Whatever. Garnishing's a bit, gets in your way, doesn't it? What does it taste like? Oh, do you know what? Wow. The gin really, the rhubarb in that just really comes through, but you've got that subtle bit of toffee. Wow. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's my 5 cocktails that you can make with Whitley Neill's Rhubarb and Ginger Gin. We started off, that was the first one, and that was our Rhuby Russchian. We then went a Rhubarb and Rosé Spritz, Rhubarb Mojito, and then Rhubarb Sour, and then a rhubarb strudel. Get those cracking. If you make those, tag me on Instagram at Steve the Barman. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of them. I'll catch you in the next video with another different brand and with 5 different cocktails. See you soon.